Hello and welcome to TelecomTV. I'm Martin Warwick. We're out of London for a change. We're in San Francisco, actually in the Moscone Centre in downtown, and I'm talking with Saar Gillai, who is Senior Vice President, Chief Operating Officer of HP Cloud, and also the General Manager of NFV. So that's quite a mouthful and a lot of titles. You've got, it seems like, several jobs rolled into one.
Pretty much, but they're all interrelated, so that makes it easier.
Okay. What makes NFV a natural fit for you to lead?
Sure. Well, in the last 2 years, I've been really doing a lot of the cloud work at HP, getting a lot of the cloud. You see Helion and all the things they've been doing in cloud with OpenStack. But in fact, if you look at my career, I've spent most of my career, actually over 20 years, in telecom and networking. I was at Newbridge, who used to be, for those who remember, and at Cisco. So actually the combination of both telecom and cloud is really the right spot for me because I'm in from both worlds. So I'm really excited to be now driving this business at HP.
What do you think are the most important that CSPs should be asking themselves as far as NFV is concerned?
Sure. Well, there's definitely a lot of action in NFV, and so a lot of questions come up. I think one of the questions that I hear a lot is, how ready is the cloud in terms of carrier requirements and telecom requirements? That's certainly something that comes a lot. There's also a question about, okay, what should I virtualize first? NFV is about virtualization of functions. What should I do first? And then there's always the issue of, you guys talk about open. Why is open important? Is it really important, or is this just a marketing thing? Okay.
Not one of the stumbling blocks, but one of the challenges is getting to carrier-grade telco cloud. There's been a lot of iffing and butting about whether or not it's possible given the way telcos work as opposed to data centers. How's that going?
Well, I think the good news is, this is an important point, obviously. Anybody who's been involved in telecom, right, they've spent the last decades talking about Carriergrade, SLAs, building their systems was blood, sweat, and tears. And so this is not just a spec. They actually need this to run their services and to meet their SLAs. And so obviously, as we're looking at moving to a scale-out architecture, there's a lot of concern about this. The good news is, I think we do understand it. And so, the first part of the problem is understanding the challenges. And there's been a lot of technology that's been pushed in there to move it, and whether it's in terms of making OpenStack and some of those things better, whether it's in terms of working on KVM, working on SLAs. And so I think we're making good progress there as an industry. And are we there 100% yet? No, we're not there yet, but we're moving very fast there. I think people will be surprised how fast we get there because, again, there is the foundational understanding. And if you look at some of the things that have happened, and even in the sort of the scale-out cloud, they are now getting to that level of scale that's required. And so, it's not going to be just an easy walk in the park, but I think people will be surprised how fast we get there. It's around the corner.
A final question to you. I'd like to look forward. We've been talking about the imminence of real, beyond proof of concept, NFV, SDN. You've just joined the team. What do you think is going to be happening this time next year as far as HP's NFV and SDN offering?
Well, it's always dangerous to make predictions because people tend to overestimate the short term and underestimate the long term, but we're in the long game here at NFV. I think given that we're in the POC stage, I think we'll be starting to see some deployments beyond the POCs. I think we'll see more and more POCs, but we're actually going to start to see some big deployments that people are going to start doing, obviously rolling out. We'll be getting to the trial phase and early deployments. And I think people will be able to quantify, which I think will be very important, just how much they're getting the benefit of it. Because that's at the end of the day, the end game here, which is, can I really show that I can roll out services faster, I can do that faster, and they'll be experiencing that during the POCs and trials. And so ultimately you'll see how that's starting to affect their ability to roll out services, which is really the end game here.
Okay. Before the music overwhelms us, we can't hear each other anymore. I'd just like to say, Saar Gillai, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you as well. Excited to be here.